Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video on my thoughts on the Bumblebee trailer. Bumblebee being a Transformer, it's what I can only gather as a soft reboot to the Transformers franchise finally, which is great because we've had, I think, 6 now, maybe, or 5 or 6 films with Michael Bay directing them of the Transformers, and they've all been, well, not very great to say the least. But yeah, I think this looks like it'll be a soft reboot, and that's great. I get sort of vibes of almost Pacific Rim 1 and or 2 maybe, and that, which is great. I enjoyed Pacific Rim 2. And that I never watched the first Pacific Rim, but the second one was good and I enjoyed that film. And I'm surprised this isn't a summer film because it gives me sort of a vibe of a summer blockbustery, summery sort of, just sort of, you know, action adventure type film. Not that I'm saying that it looks shit, but I'm just saying it looks sort of light-hearted and soft, and like, from the trailer there isn't much there, but I'm hoping that's because there is more content obviously in the actual film. But I think the reason why it's so stripped back is because it's a soft reboot. If this does well, then maybe they'll add more Autobots and Decepticons, the good guys and the bad guys, you know, because predominantly here in the trailer there's only Bumblebee and there's only, I think it's Starscream, the one that's like a helicopter, no, not a helicopter, a fighter jet. The transformation sort of sequences look really cool, and you can tell what's what, like, in terms of when they're transforming, you know, and how they're transforming. You can tell how they're transforming, but also and visually see it clearly, whereas I never felt that with the Michael Bay films of the Transformer films that I did see. Like, a lot of the Decepticons would be like really, you know, overcomplicated, really big, blocky, weird monstrosities of tanks or something, and then just randomly transform into a humanoid like character, and it'd be like, wait, what? Like, you know, like, it just didn't make logical sense. But here there's a much more sort of fluid dynamic flow to how they transform, which is cool. And I like Bumblebee as a character. Hopefully he doesn't talk in this, because I think that's pretty established in the animated TV show, or maybe the comics, I'm not 100% sure. Please do comment below if you know where it's from, where he doesn't talk, like the origins of that, because it's kind of established though that he doesn't talk, which would be cool if he didn't. And then the obviously female character is almost like, for lack of a better term, or for lack of a better comparison, like the companion in Doctor Who. Like, we see everything unfold through her eyes, but she connects with Bumblebee, and she's like the main sort of person who can understand him and that. And I'm led to believe that's going to be the dynamic they have anyway, because that's consistently what is displayed in the trailer and that in various points. It seems to be shot in lots of different locations. Like, there seems to be one where it might be shot in somewhere like Italy, because there's a bit where there's really nice buildings and that, and then someone jumps off a balcony in like a ravine of sorts. So in my head it immediately goes to Italy for some weird reason. And then there's like a beach as well at one point, and he like shakes off all of the mud on him, almost like a dog, which I thought was kind of funny. As I say, there's only one other bad guy, which I don't mind, because, you know, maybe this will be more of a character piece about Bumblebee as a character. Maybe we'll get explained where the other Autobots and all good guys are, because I have no idea where they would be. Because it does feel weird that we've had X amount of Michael Bay films with Transformers, and then this just seems to be, as I say, so sort of stripped back. But I'm presuming it's because it's not connected to all the other ones. But if it is, I hope it's explained why there isn't any other Autobots or Decepticons. But I don't think it is, because again, I'm under the assumption that it isn't directed by Michael Bay, or at least I hope not. It doesn't seem to be directed by him, or it doesn't look like it. It's very odd that it's coming out at Christmas, because it looks to me like it'd be a really good sort of summer blockbustery, sort of light-hearted, feel-good movie. But no, it's coming out apparently in the trailers. It says Christmas 2018, I think, or at least I think it's 2018 that it's releasing. Because if it was coming out back end of 2019, then it'd have Star Wars Episode 9 to compete with, which obviously would get overshadowed by that film. So, but yeah, it looks nice. It looks really cool. It just, as I say, it has a nice little sort of light-hearted feel. Best way of comparing it, or best film that I could compare it to, is probably what I've heard of, like the Ant-Man films, like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It might, you know, it might not have this huge epic scale, but not every film has to have that. And I mean, it doesn't mean that the characters won't be well written, or there won't be cool jokes or funny jokes, like the bit at the end of the trailer where she says something about like music can help you display your emotions, and then she puts in the tape, and then it's just like this funny soundtrack thing of like some music, and then he just immediately spits it out, and then it nearly shoots her in the head, and she like quickly ducks, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool why he's got like this like ability to put like this helmet sort of thing over him, and almost like hide himself away from people, like, or maybe that just indicates that he's more in attack mode and ready to attack, and he's more on the offensive, because at first he does seem to be really shy and be really taken aback by this character, which is nice, I guess, that they're not going for the immediate, like, you know, he's going to try and attack her, or she's attacking him, or whatever else, I don't know. But yeah, it probably it'll have, like, for lack of a better term again, not that I'm saying it'll be exactly like this in terms of their bond, but it'll probably be like an E.T. sort of vibe of sorts, like, obviously that she's going to try and look after him and look out for him, and then there are these military characters who presumably are going to try and hunt him down, which, yeah, it's not going to be amazingly original, but what do you expect? It's a Transformers film, but it'll be fun, or at least I hope it's going to be fun, you know. And as I say, not everything has to be so intense. Not everything has to be, you know, Star Wars levels of scope, or, you know, Marvel's Infinity War levels of epic and sort of, you know, intensity. You know, some films are a bit more light-hearted and a bit more toned down, and that's okay. And yeah, I like the look of this film. It looks cool. I like the fact that the bumblebee wasp thing is in his car, or in the car, sort of visual sort of aid to obviously be like, oh yeah, it's Bumblebee. You know, he's got the wasp nest thing in his car and that. You know, and I like how he's got the little sort of Autobot symbol thing on his head as well. Maybe that's like sort of harkening back in a reference to the old animated show. I can't remember, or maybe how he looks in the comic books. I'm not 100% sure on that either, but yeah, this has just been my thoughts on the new Bumblebee trailer, and I'm looking forward to watching this film at some point when it releases. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.